My name is Angel. I'm 26 years old now. But I was only 19 when the world drowned in its own filth. When the trash we ignored for so long came back for us. When nature stopped forgiving and started reflecting. This is the aftermath. I lived in São Paulo, working at a small coffee shop in Pinheiros. Life was normal, loud, busy, dirty, but we didn't notice anymore. Garbage was just there, part of the landscape. We walked past overflowing bins without thinking. We threw things away and never asked where away was. By 2045, the crisis had become impossible to ignore. Landfills operated at 300% capacity. The Tietê River hadn't been clear in decades. Oceans choked on plastic islands the size of countries. But we kept consuming and discarding. It was how the world worked. We thought activists and politicians would fix it eventually. Something for future generations to worry about. We thought we had time. We were wrong. March 17, 2045. Tuesday morning in Mumbai. I'll never forget that date. People thought it was an earthquake. The DNR landfill, one of Asia's largest garbage dumps, was shaking, trembling, like something underneath was waking up. Then it stood up, 40 meters tall. Made of decades of garbage, sewage, medical waste, industrial chemicals. Everything we threw away and forgot. It had eyes. 2 massive truck tires with broken glass inside. Teeth made of broken bottles and rebar. A mouth that was a cavern of twisted metal and rot. And it screamed. The sound wasn't human or animal. It was a million rusted hinges, metal scraping metal. Static from broken radios, all at once. Garbage coming to life. Within an hour, Mumbai burned. The Indian military responded with helicopters, tanks, fighter jets. Bullets passed through it like smoke. The body too loose, too scattered. Missiles exploded parts of it across city blocks. We watched on our phones thinking they'd killed it. But it reformed. Garbage pieces flew back together, magnetized, pulling itself back from death. Because how do you kill something that was never alive? It was already waste, already refuse. 3 days later, giants emerged in 23 cities simultaneously. Lagos, Cairo, Mexico City, Jakarta, New York, Tokyo, São Paulo. Which was different, some 30 meters tall, others nearly 100. Formed from whatever that region discarded. Mumbai's was industrial waste. New York's was consumer electronics. Lagos had medical waste from illegal dumps. São Paulo's rose from the Tietê River itself. Decades of sewage, plastic, metal, chemical waste, unregistered corpses. Our sins walking. I was serving a customer their 3rd espresso when ours emerged. The sound came first, a low rumble. Then the smell. Rotting meat. Burning plastic. Or sewage. People gagged before they ran. Through the window I saw it rising from the river valley. A mountain of filth taking human shape. Toxic waterfalls cascading off its body. The window exploded. Glass everywhere. People screaming, trampling each other. Someone stepped on my hand, another on my back. I crawled under a table as the giant's arms swept through the shop. Metal and garbage and death. The Brazilian Air Force deployed F-5 fighters. I watched them fire missiles. Explosions beautiful and terrible but ineffective. They even authorized a tactical nuclear strike on the outskirts. I saw the flash from 20 kilometers away. Felt the shockwave rattle my bones. The giant absorbed the radiation. Its body glowed toxic green and grew larger. Denser. Stronger. We gave it power. In 2 weeks, 40 major cities fell. 2 billion people died or vanished. The giants crushed us, buried us, and impossibly recycled us back into themselves. Bodies became part of the garbage. Part of them. I survived by hiding, by running, by watching my city collapse and doing nothing because there was nothing I could do. 7 years passed. I survived by never staying long anywhere, by learning the rules, by becoming invisible. High in the Serra de Cantareira Mountains north of São Paulo, we established Haven Ridge. 240 survivors, families, children born after the fall who never knew the old world. No electricity, it attracted them. No technology, just existence. We learned. No fires during the day, no loud sounds ever, no concentrations of waste. Everything composted immediately, buried deep in scattered locations, burned to ash and dispersed. We became obsessed with cleanliness, paranoid about every scrap. If we produced nothing, we'd be invisible. Marcus led us, 40 years old, strong, kind, teacher before. He believed we could rebuild. That 7 years without attack meant safety. That humanity had learned. I wanted to believe him, but I'd seen what we created. I'd watched a giant absorb nuclear fire. I woke one Wednesday before dawn. The air smelled wrong. Not clean mountain air. Smelled like rot. Chemicals. The city. We created it. Waste. 7 years of imperfect disposal. The earth had absorbed it, compressed it, and given it back. A 15-meter giant made from our own trash. It emerged from the forest at dawn. I saw pieces of our lives in its body. Chair Marcus built. Fabric from children's clothes. Tools we'd lost. Our home reflected back as monster. The attack was silent chaos. We trained not to scream. People ran with children and essential packs, following practiced escape routes, but not fast enough. Marcus made his stand at the ridge choke point, told us to run. I watched him face that thing with a makeshift spear. Watched him realize the weapon was useless. Watched debris fall and bury him. And I ran. 'Cause that's what survivors do. Lila, 16 years old, fell during escape. Turned back. Grabbed her. The giant's foot came down exactly where she'd been. We rolled from the shockwave and kept running. Behind us, Haven Ridge burned. 89 people lost that night. Marcus, old Maria who knew herbal medicine, the Chin family, children whose names I can't say without breaking. At sunrise, 151 of us stood on a hill watching our home smoke. We dug 89 graves in hard ground with bare hands. No ceremony, no words, just necessity, just dirt on cloth-wrapped bodies. Old Teresa spoke of the Pantanal, the wetlands, 1,000 kilometers west. She's 70, indigenous, with knowledge older than cities. She said the water there flows constantly, cleanses naturally. Maybe waste can't accumulate, can't compress, can't form giants. Maybe some wanted to stay and rebuild. Others called the journey suicide. 1,000 kilometers through giant territory. 2 months on foot minimum. I stood and made the decision. We leave in 1 hour. Take only what you can carry. Nothing we can't compost or burn. No one argued. Survival taught us to recognize authority when needed. Now we walk through destroyed highways overgrown with vegetation, past cities that became tombs, through territory where giants patrol like sentries. We see them in the distance, low, patient, waiting. 7 years after the giants rose. 7 years after learning that nature doesn't forgive, it reflects. We made monsters from waste, and they unmade us. I don't know if the Pantanal still exists. I don't know if we'll survive. 151 from 240. From millions. From billions. But I know this. As long as we're alive, we must be better. We can't throw anything away. We can't produce waste we can't recycle with our own hands. 'Cause nothing ever disappears. There is no away. Just waits, accumulates, compresses, and eventually returns. This is the aftermath of the giant invasion, of our own creation, our negligence, our sins made flesh, made garbage, made monster. And it's not over. It will never be over. My name is Angel. I'm 26 years old. I've survived 7 years of hell. I've watched my world end twice. I've lost everyone I loved. And I'm still walking, still fighting, still running from what we made. Because someone has to witness. Someone has to tell the story. This is the aftermath. And I'm still here.